Okay, we're just going to start the embargoed section now, if that's alright. We've just run out of time in the live section. If you want to raise your hand, if you want to ask a question on the embargoed section, it is 11 PM tonight, the embargo. Gavin, if you want to kick us off.
Gavin, how you doing? Just looking at yourself and Queevy, you played 900 minutes. You, Mark, played 900 minutes this season. He's only played 90. You know, obviously, there's a huge benefit of you being on loan to Portsmouth. There's a huge benefit of him sitting on the bench. But what's your feeling of what's the best way for, I suppose, you get international caps? Like, is it Championship, League One, or Premiership bench? Like, what's your take on it all?
My opinion was always game time was the most important thing. That's why I went on loan to Rochdale and now gone on loan to Portsmouth. I'm 100% sure that I wouldn't be anywhere near the position I am now without having that backing of games, having that experience, and really this confidence just because of the amount of games I've got under my belt. So for me, in my opinion, playing games is the most important thing.
And just in a more general, on the same topic, not you can see why you're at Portsmouth, you can see why Cleveland's a difficult, but you see Callum Robinson doing so well. It's so many Irish players who are really thriving in the Championship, yet guys who are equally skilled are really struggling for Premiership, and it's Jeff Hendrick, we could go on and on right through the squad. What in your view, what's the best fit for this squad at the moment? Is it to be playing top, like, promotion in top level Championship, or what's the level that you'd like to see most lads playing at? You understand it's quite difficult.
Yeah, I understand that. I suppose it's really down to the players. You know, different players have different aspirations and goals. You know, it can be difficult for some players to be playing, like you said, in the Premier League and struggling a bit, versus some players who are playing in the Championship and really thriving. But at the end of the day, it's down to those players. If they believe they're good enough to step up and play in the Premier League, you know, all credit to them. But my personal opinion is you should always try and play at the highest level as you can.
Philip, please.
Thanks.
Gavin, Ederson's first half pass yesterday put Foden in behind Milner was something special. I'm sure you watched it and you approved of it. Have you got that in your locker?
I'm working towards it, definitely. I mean, he's a special goalkeeper. He's changed the way the game's being played, and I definitely take a lot of learning from the way he plays. Obviously, I want to have my own build, but definitely with the way he's changed modern goalkeeping, I think there's a lot of things, a lot of positives that I can take from his game and try to add to mine.
And a follow-up, if I may. I know you're talking with the Man City coach, goalkeeping coach regularly. Do you have much interaction with Ederson as a matter of interest?
I wouldn't have any interaction other than when I'm in training with them. So no, it's just with Javi, the goalkeeper coach.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anyone? Anyone further now?
I'll go again.
John, no, bit of fairness.
Yeah, no, Gavin, just sort of following up on Gavin's question just about the trajectory of goalkeepers. Like, you've made it very clear that you want to be Man City's #1, and you're trying to balance that about getting games. Like, are you prepared sort of to go into a phase of your career, a bit like where Queevy is, where you'll have to be on the bench at the likes of Man City and be patient and not play games, maybe play League Cup games only for a season or so?
Yeah, I suppose that's the difficult possible next step to my career, where I'll have to make a decision there. I've not made a decision on that yet, but my priority will always be to try and get as many games as I can, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be sitting on a bench. I want to be out playing week in, week out if possible. But if the best thing for me is to be in and around the squad, learning every day, training with Javi, if that's my best opportunity to become a Manchester City's #1, I'll have to consider it in the future, yeah.
And just linked to that, there's also community criteria then your international place, and that it's very clear you have this now ahead of the lads because you're playing every week, whereas that might be the case.
Yeah, so that's what my reasoning will be for going on loan. You know, you get a chance every week to prove yourself, and to be in the manager's eye and the goalkeeping coach's eye, for them to see you, to continue to back up performances. So like I said, I'll have to make that decision further down the line, but my priority will always be to try and play week in, week out wherever I am.
And we'll finish up with Paul Lennon.
Gavin, after the Portugal game, Stephen Kenny said that there were times maybe when you and the defence shouldn't play out from the back. and that maybe you might have to alter your tactics. Has he spoken to you about that subsequently, before the Azerbaijan game and before the Serbia game? That you might need to knock it longer at times.
Yeah, so we would have had like a tactical debrief after the game, and yeah, so there was times where the pressure was quite high. You're playing away from home against a really top opposition, and sometimes you just need to take a bit of pressure off the team by, like you said, playing a bit longer or playing into areas where you might have a bit more of an overload. But yeah, that's the type of thing we're learning, and we're growing as a group. We're trying to play this new, more brave brand of football, but also you have to get the balance between playing short and drawing on pressure versus creating too much pressure from yourself. So you need to just get that fine balance.
Okay guys, thanks.